Cool. We are back with session 39A, and we are still in Omu. Recap of the last session. I think you guys basically worked your way down from you found the entrance to the Tomb of the Nine Gods, but can't get in because you don't have enough cubes yet. Explored a bunch of buildings, and then ended up having a conversation with some kobolds in a set of ruins underneath a ruined bazaar that they were hanging out in, along with dismantling lots of fun traps and doodads along the way. I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We paid the kobolds for knowledge of where the rest of the shrines are in the city.
That's right. You also did that, and they are marked on the map. And when I watched the video from last week, discovered that I had an incredibly hard time saying the number 19. Took me like 3 tries, and I wasn't even sick then. So there you go. So at this point, I think you guys were had just left the. Well, okay, yeah, cool. Any questions or issues for anyone before we get into stuff?
Nope.
Nope.
You're good.
Cool. I'm gonna use different music today. That volume slider does nothing. That one does something. So I think you guys had just come out of the bazaar itself at the end of last session and had been discussing where to go next. I will say that you guys also notice at this point. Oh, that's a weird control that I accidentally just used. I drew an ambient sound. I don't know what that did. Sorry. On the highway there, you notice about 20 or 30 feet to the south of you, there is a very obviously artificial cairn of stones in the middle of the highway. So kind of like there compared to where you guys are.
We should probably check that out.
I concur.
Cool. So as you approach it, it's a pile of smooth, round, almost like river stones, all stacked in a little pyramid. And in the middle of the stack, there appears to be a folded piece of paper.
Was this cairn of stones here when we passed by earlier? When we were on the other side of the highway?
It was not. This is new since you were in the bazaar.
Interesting.
Oh, I do want to take a look at that folded piece of paper, but before I do, investigate. Well, just do a perception check just to see what's around the area.
Sure. Oh, let me unpause the game. There you go. Cool. So yeah, you look around, you look at all the foliage and the ruins. You don't see anything particularly out of the ordinary. The highway you're on is pretty smooth and clear, and you don't see any indication of you don't really see any indication of anything suspicious.
I'll go and pick up that folded piece of paper and read it.
Sure. Boom. Popped it up on the screen. That should load shortly. And you find a letter, and I'll read it out for you. It says, "Welcome to Omu. Congratulations on arriving with your party mostly intact. It appears we have matters to discuss, as your objectives may align with my own. Please consider this an invitation to my home. You will find easiest access is on the northern avenue extending from the ruined palace on the eastern side of the city. Simply approach and make your presence known. I know it is presumptuous, but I do hope it is not too rude of me to ask that when you enter, you allow my companions to safeguard your weapons. Many have come to visit me under false pretense, and I do not suffer such behavior. I assume no such motivation from you, but I cannot be overly cautious in this matter. Of course, I promise your safety and what comforts I can provide if you shall acquiesce to my concerns for caution. Ras Nsi, loyal Bara of Mesro, and humble servant of Ubtayo.
This is Ras Nsi inviting us directly.
Interesting.
I feel as though this is a setup, but we are sort of under the thumb of who controls this place. If they know that we're here and they took the time to write this well-articulated letter for us.
So
Does
I've
he actually control the city? Or does he merely hold sway over part of the city?
Well,
Are you asking one of the NPCs or each other?
I'm
Thinking out loud?
being somewhat rhetorical.
Okay, sorry. Just thinking, let's see, you've got EQ, you've got Orvex, and I think that's who's left right now. Let me just double check in case I'm forgetting an NPC.
Should be it.
Yeah, you have EQ and Orvex. Orvex kind of goes, well, I think that, we have not seen much evidence of the Bara himself. Obviously, we have encountered his minions, and they made a messy business of some of my former employers, so I would say perhaps Ras Nsi is the de facto ruler, if not any other sort.
What does that title Bara mean?
I assume as much.
I can answer this question. The Bara are the holy paladins of Ubtayo. It is not legend, it is just history. The city of Mesro was raised some thousands of years ago. The legend does state that it was raised literally by Ubtayo, and that he appointed 7 paladins, or Bara. I apologize, Sir Paladin, it is simply an inexact translation, but Paladin is the closest word.
Okay.
Each granted supernatural powers to help rule the city in Ubtayo's stead. If histories are accurate, Ras Nsi is the last surviving original Bara of Mesro.
The last surviving Bara. In a city that probably looks like it's been in ruins for 100 years. At least
we are in Omu, not Mesro.
Oh, yes.
So
Mesro's been ruined for far longer.
This place all looks the same after a couple of days.
Mesro does appear ruined, but that is somewhat recent. That was before the spell plague. Mesro was difficult to find, but supposedly a thriving city. After the spell plague ended, Mesro was in the state that it is now. And I think you guys would also know that briefly when you guys had encountered Artis Simber, he was searching for his wife, who was a resident of Mesro. And Artis himself actually had lived in Mesro prior to its disappearance and doesn't believe that Mesro's current state is real. He thinks that there is something else going on with Mesro. Because he literally was there and then came back and it was gone. Like ruined. So he has his suspicions about if a cataclysm actually happened in Mesro or not.
Interesting.
Sorry for the lore dump, just wanted to remind you guys of minor plot points from months ago.
Wait, I got rid of the letter, but the letter said to visit him, we'd have to go basically to where we were 2 sessions ago, or we have to go to Mesro.
No, so on the map,
No.
I've revealed a 20A marker. That's the north side of the ruined palace.
Oh, okay, I see.
So, Ras Nsi, Bara of Mesro, is currently inviting you to his home under the palace of Omu.
Gotcha. Okay.
So many fallen civilizations in Schultz. It's easy to lose track of which fallen civilization or city we're visiting this week.
Yeah.
Kind of wish they would have left 1 or 2 of them intact, to be honest.
I feel like so just to refresh my memory, the 3 strongest necromancers in this in Chult are Velistra over here in that compound. What's his face? The guy that's been doing the soulmonger, and Ras Nsi.
Yeah, the sage of Orlunga had said that either Valindra or Ras Nsi were probably the most powerful necromancer in Chult, unless Asirak was here. And Asirak being the guy who wrote the warning on the entrance to the tomb that you saw.
I don't think we should go.
So yes, you are correct. All 3 of them are here in Omu.
Ah, perfect. Now,
That seems
which one
like
of them
that.
is the most friendly?
I mean, so far Valindra's Shadowmantle has been very friendly, except when you tried to steal stuff from her while she was present. Or no, you stole it while she was not present, sorry. So far, all of Ras Nsi's communications with you have been in the form of, I would say, polite letters. His blue triangle zombies and Yuan-Ti, on the other hand, maybe haven't been so friendly.
Right.
Asirak, you guys, you know Asirak's name. I would say is probably about as much as any of you know. I'd be willing to say that you could maybe make a history check, but the DC would be incredibly high for various reasons. But you can definitely make one if you would like to.
Nope.
That is not gonna do it. You're like Asarok? What? I guess he built that tomb or something. I don't know.
Well, I imagine we should.
Does Orvex know anything about him?
About Asirak?
Yeah.
I am afraid that while the name shows up in various places, it is usually only associated with tombs or ruins. I have no knowledge of him that I would consider definitive or even necessarily worth repeating.
How far back in time is the first reference to that name?
It is scattered. It goes back hundreds of years. The legends say that he is a necromancer or a lich or something of that nature, but most of the accounts are from adventurers who did not enter the locations where the name comes up. So really we can't verify, even if, for example, if this tomb here says a Sirak on it, we have no way of knowing if it was truly him or if it was somebody using the name. It is not uncommon for less powerful individuals to try and ride the coattails, if you will, in some of these legends and histories. Hence why I am somewhat dubious about anything recorded. I would just urge caution. That's his very academic way of saying none of this stuff passes peer review.
Right.
Like, the name shows up a few times. Beyond that, who knows?
So we've encountered Ras Nsi's like zombies or whatever, skeletons, but have we encountered anything from a Sirak other than just his little warnings and his his name popping up in like the entrances to places?
No. Well, unless you want to infer that he is the one in possession of the Soulmonger, and we've interacted with the effects that the Soulmonger is having on the world.
Sorry, I was reading a sidebar about Ace and trying to decide what would or would not be character knowledge. So were you asking about a Sirak or about Raz?
Yeah, I mean, I realize he's like. I mean, I haven't. I don't think I was here a lot for a lot of like the more of the soul. I missed a lot of the history when I joined this game, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, what...
Okay.
Yeah.
So to recap, kind of the stages that you guys have learned stuff. So Syndra Sylvain hired the original group. You also know at this point that she hired the Company of the Yellow Banner, who preceded you guys into Omu by about a week or so.
Right.
So you were both hired to find the Soulmonger. The Red Wizards are also searching for it. Valindra's Shadow Mantle is looking for it. You found out, well, you didn't, but I think most of the party did. Or maybe you were, I think you were actually there, yeah, because we found you in the shrine underneath Orlunga. Between the various questions, you know that the Soulmonger is in the tomb underneath Omu. So, like, that's why we're here, right?
Right.
So, like, unless the sage is lying, yeah, the Soulmonger is in that tomb somewhere. At this point, I don't think, besides the fights you've had with Yuan-Ti and Undead, bearing the mark of Ras Nsi, you don't really know anything about him beyond, like, that he was a Bara of Mesro. Yeah, and then like a Sirak and the Soulmonger, I don't think you guys even know. Like, you know the Soulmonger conceptually, but I don't think you have learned anything about what it actually is. You just know what it does, which is
That's what it's currently doing.
yeah. So the
Which
Soulmonger
may not
is
be everything that it does.
yeah. I think Iku would actually know about Ras Nsi probably more than anyone else here. but I don't know if anybody's asked her about him, because I know we had some discussions about like the history briefly of like Omu and Mesro and Mbala with her, but that was a lot of kind of higher level stuff, I think.
Yeah. But that is a fair question. I would like to know how familiar Iku is with Raz, and in particular, whether we can take him at his word for his promise of surety if we give over our weapons, especially if we decline to agree to whatever arrangement he wishes to make with us. Will he let us leave peaceably?
I'm totally going to answer that question as Iku. I am going to grab another glass of water first.
All right.
Okay. Wish I hadn't paused that because that was a fun discussion. So Iku, overhearing all of this, offers up, to the best of my knowledge and experience, Ras Nsi is mostly secretive and keeps to himself. Like, we've seen his servants, and admittedly in the last 100 years or so, the undead have been more active than they often have been in the past. Although this isn't the most active they've ever been. That said, Raz has mostly been concerned primarily with matters of Mesro. I don't know of him ever not observing courtesy. I've never heard anything of him not doing so. I know Artis, who traveled with us, has met Raz, I believe, at least twice. And I think the two of them don't see eye to eye on much at all. So if that's any indication, we may be able to trust his word. However, this connection with the Yuan-Ti is entirely new to me. His domain had previously mostly been the undead, and so I don't know really anything about his connection with the Yuan-Ti at this point, or why they suddenly have seemed to be operating under his control.
Well, I guess we shall see what we shall see. I would like to go see what it was that fell out of the sky over in that direction first, though.
Okay. Is anyone opposed? Everyone?
Nope.
No?
Cool. So do you want to beeline it? Do you want to explore stuff along the way? What do you want to do?
I'm content to beeline it at this point.
I
Yeah.
believe that if we should probably head right there. What time of the day is it right now?
So let's see if we're. Did you guys camp out between the tomb and the bazaar?
No, we camped after
Yeah, you camped
the
up by
fight
that
with the
weird
King of
squiggle.
Feathers.
Okay. So then getting to the tomb was about mid-morning. You guys poked around there for a while, and then I think got into a fight on the way down. I think you killed some assassin vines.
Yep.
So I'd say by the time you got to the bazaar, it was midday. Then you guys had to get through kind of all the traps and stuff in there, and then the interaction with the kobolds. So I'd say it's probably at this point actually about late afternoon. You probably have a few hours of daylight left before it really turns into night that comes after a day. I was trying to come up with a better way to say that, but yeah. Nope. These are the narrations. Yeah, so it's probably like 4:30, 5 o'clock at this point.
So I say we beeline it over there and find out whatever we can find out, and then we find a place to make camp for the evening.
For what it's worth, I think if you guys, and you'd be aware of this, just based on how long it's going to take to get through all that rough terrain, it will probably, if you beeline there, it'll be dusk.
Okay.
So like, yeah, if you beeline there right now, it'll be dusk. Yeah.
Well, then maybe we should find a place to camp between here and there, and then go check it out in the morning.
Well,
I'm okay with that.
I think so, yes. We should find a place with a roof and at least 3 solid walls.
I agree.
Okay. For ease of time, I will say that you start making your way over and do find a building, basically kind of along that, kind of like somewhere, yeah, kind of Teresa where you're poking, somewhere in there where you can definitely camp out without too much problem, and then you can throw your tiny hut up.
Yes.
Oh. Hello. Sorry, my wife turned the television on and I have a whiteboard in front of her head, so I didn't know she was down here. Oh, that's good. Okay, so I'm gonna move you guys over. I'm gonna draw a line. Do you guys want to head like above or below the bazaar, just in case it matters at any point?
I would go to the north side of it, I guess.
Kind of like through the bazaar and then out the other
And,
side.
well, I mean, technically, we went into the bazaar, then we came out and went to the cairn over here, and then went back north.
Let's see how many weird segments to this map I can make. How's that?
That works.
Some DMs make beautiful photoshopped things, and I'm just like, scribble on the board. Okay.
Hey, it works.
So you guys camp. Do you guys want to do anything at the campsite? Or just sleep, wake up, and move on?
I don't think I have anything special to do. Who wound up with that mask
The mask? Which mask?
that we got from the nest of the King of Feathers?
I have the mask.
Okay.
What does the mask
Was
do? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Thought it was nothing. Yeah, I mean, when I picked it up, you said it was just a ceremonial mask with nothing. It was worth 250 gold. That's all I remember.
It was just like a fancy pants thing. Let me Let me go to the dwellers of the
Incan matrimonial head mask.
Locations in Omu. Let's see. King of Feathers. Chingwa Wagon Wango Shrine Amphitheater. The King of Feathers. It is a helm of... Okay, so... Yeah, there was... an elegant, or an electrum platter inscribed with images of Chultan feasting rituals, worth 25 gold. An Omuan death mask made of painted gold, worth 200. Made of painted gold? Maybe it was painted with gold? That makes more sense. 250 gold. And a...
So it's made of gold, and the gold is painted.
Fair. That is a third interpretation that I didn't think of. And probably more intelligent than mine. Can you paint
Probably
gold?
more justifying of the value of the thing.
Yeah, if it's made of gold, I guess being 250 gold pieces if it's made of gold makes sense, huh? But what about the craftsmanship? and a helm of telepathy. I don't know who ended up with that.
I'm pretty sure that's Kellic.
I'm pretty sure Kellic just takes all the magic items now that Sarah's not here and then never uses them.
Oh boy.
I would speak up if there was a magic item that I was actually interested in using.
Fair.
Yeah, the only one that I have is this Pearl of Power.
Like, if we get a Belt of Giant Strength, I'm going to be all over that.
Did you get the Staff of the War Mage, or was that somebody in the other group?
That had to have been somebody else.
Okay. Oh, you know what happened? I found a nice magic item table. And so I started adding fun magic items randomly. Anyway, they got like a Wand of the War Mage or something.
Yeah, I
Those
would
are
love
pretty
to have
nifty.
something like that.
They're, like, not as useful as I would like them to be, but I understand why they aren't more
Yeah.
powerful than they are in 5th edition.
Sib got it. That's who got it. Gale got it. They gave it to Gale. Because Gale casts arcane spells. Okay. That's the loot recap. So yeah, if you guys approach, basically, sorry, were you guys ready to approach that house?
Yeah, I think we're ready to move on. I don't even think any of us need to heal or recover resources.
Yeah,
with the
because you
long
guys
rest,
didn't fight the kobolds.
right?
So
And
that was...
the assassin vines didn't really. I don't know. We might actually need to. Somebody might have been hurt in that fight. I don't remember.
I think Yaza's steed bit the dust.
Oh, yeah,
is
yeah,
what
yeah.
happened. Yeah. Cool. Well, so as you guys approach that blue blob, I mean, at this point there's no activity in the air, but
Right.
you see that there's basically a house with a courtyard, or more of just a yard, not really a courtyard in front of it. And I will load the map. Hopefully I preloaded it properly, and I will put some people down.
Well, I mean, we're at least like 2 days past the point at which we saw things fall out of the sky, I think.
Yeah, about. This is true. So we have an elk, and we have a Teresa, and we have a warhorse. Nope, the warhorse is not you. We have a Teddy. Why did I put Teddy on Teresa? That was silly. We also have a Sebastian. Are you riding your elk?
Sure.
And we would also have an Iku. And Orvex is here, but I don't have his token handy. And can you guys see the scene?
Yeah, looks like some people went splat.
Yeah, so what you can see is there's a bunch of dead bodies in front of this kind of crumbled house, and you can see some people inside the house too. Actually, that guy would be dead at this point. Sorry. So there's a bunch of dead gargoyles. Maybe I could just... Oh, so the bodies, the tokens that you see... Let's just do this. We'll just move them out a little bit. Oh, wow. They're really...
If you drag the body, it splatters more blood.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, the tokens underneath the piles of blood are gargoyles. But you can also see 3 wed-wobed wizards' corpses. And you actually recognize one of them. The corpse that I'm pinging right now, Al Bolial, she was one of the wizards that you guys encountered some time ago in that abandoned village where you had the 3-way fight between the Yuan-Ti undead. Wow. You third-partied the fight. It wasn't a 3-way fight.
Right.
Yeah.
Honorable third party.
Yeah. Very honorable third party. Did you see? Sorry, I have to do an aside. They made interdiction nullification and warp core stabs active modules.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
heard something about that.
there's a whole bunch of re over in the subreddit. It's amazing. EVE Online is dying again. Anyway, so you recognize Alboliel's body vaguely. Also, this guy right here was one of the two brothers, and he is also dead. There's a third wizard. You can see the name, but you don't know who that is. And then in the building beyond, you can definitely make out that there are more red wizards in there. And they seem to be kind of convened and talking to each other.
Pity.
Well, they haven't bothered to clean up the mess yet. Suppose we should announce ourselves. They probably detected us by now, or our magic items.
If you so wish. Do not think I have much to say to them.
I want to know what happened. You don't have to talk, Sebastian.
Alright, so I guess I'll call out to them to, I don't remember their names, but I know we've seen them before.
I think the one whose name you actually know is Evlona, who of course is the one whose name isn't showing for reasons that evade me. There we go. Evlona, she was the one that you guys talked to last time. The bald-headed, tattooed, Thayan wizard.
Alright. So I guess I will say, well, I suppose that some of you are still alive so far. And she's calling out to them.
Yep. And, Evlona and kind of the wild lady, wizard who had gotten blasted pretty good last time, they both walk out. Two of the other wizards stay behind. Evlona
Are there two Konaxes?
Are there two Konaxes? Oops.
Yeah.
Fixed! Nope, there's only one Konax. Konax, Gerdax, and Dyrax. You know, sometimes I mess up my fun names. So Evlona and the other female wizard. Dyrax? Ooh, isn't that a... Anyway.
Yes.
They're not gonna need Dyrax anymore. Oh boy. So Evlona comes out and says, well, it appears that you did make it to Omu, and at least don't have as many bodies with you as we do right now. Welcome to the Lost City.
I see you have been busy with the amount of bodies here. That one didn't make it, I suppose.
And yeah, so Konax and Gerdax are dragging out a corpse, which is apparently just spreading copious amounts of blood. That I just, you know what? I'm gonna actually maybe fix that a little bit, because it's definitely way bloodier. Oh, it's at Draco Lich levels of. Okay, that's why. Let's turn it down to Ogre Violence level and see if that.
They shouldn't still be having arterial bleeding 2 days later.
It's interesting. Okay, well, so anyway, yeah. So as the two of the male wizards that you recognize, drag out a body, and they put it down, and those two wizards are actually going to be gathering up the other bodies That wasn't any better. That was no better. Why do they keep bleeding? Okay. Evlona says, well, some of our compatriots discovered that flying over the city was not a wise choice, unfortunate for them. But we have resolved this situation for now. So you have made it this far, I'm assuming by foot, because you are alive. I see that you are all as talkative this time as you were in our last encounter.
Well, I'm just surveying how useful those bodies can be in case there is something following us. But how fare the rest of your group?
We are recovered. It is only those who fell in the fight that we could not save. And Yemlach, he did not survive, unfortunately. And she gestures over towards the body that was just dragged out of the house. I would keep moving these, but I just don't want to make the whole thing super blood. So
That's fine.
So you can imagine that the rest of these bodies are all being kind of stacked over here. And Evlona glances over the group of you and notices, oh, Orvex, you survived. Congratulations, you have done better than many of those who I would have thought to be your superiors. And she takes a pouch off of her belt and tosses it, and it lands about 10 feet in front of Orvex with a heavy thud. And Evlona says, you can consider your services successfully rendered, Orvex. That should be the remainder of your payment. We do not need your help anymore.
Care to explain, Orvex?
Well, I had been hired by, well, that one. And he points at a body. She had recruited me before we came here, and I am assuming, and he looks to Evlona as he says this, since my initial employer is apparently no longer... oh wow, I just switched from Werner Herzog to Russian at the same time there, that's weird. Given that my employer is... I don't know if I can pull this off. Orvex explains that Thasma's dead, and so as he looks at Evlona, kind of questioningly says that her being dead is the end of his contract, and Evlona just gives a curt nod. Basically, she says, "Yep, yes, Thasma hired Orvex. Thasma is dead, and she is not picking up the contract any further."
What was the nature of the contract? Orbeck.
Oh, okay, sorry. He was there to provide translation, lore, history, scribe duties, just kind of like an all-purpose scholar for them. Since he had some knowledge of the Omuan language in Chultan.
Okay.
And it seems they don't care about that anymore. Or at least Evlona doesn't care enough to hire him for further services rendered. Yeah.
How
Go ahead.
how far? What have you experienced so far in this in Omu? How long have you been in Omu for?
Evlona she kind of smirks and says, did you see when our other fallen comrades were flying through the sky? I'm assuming it made a ruckus. that is how long we have been in Omu.
Interesting.
I nod
Well-
my head, but I have no idea what she's talking about.
Sorry,
so-
you heard the fight in the sky about 2 days ago, right? So they've been in Omu for about. Evlona has been Evlona has been in Omu, and her party, the party you met, have been here for about 2 days.
Okay.
You could also figure out that Thasma had been here longer, because Thasma, the dead one, is the one who hired
Right.
Orvex, and Orvex is some of his crew got murdered by the Uwansi.
Right. And we found that like on our first day here.
So it seems like you've kind of got an A team and a B team of Red Wizards, and maybe the B team didn't do so good, because it's pretty much the A team that's left.
Losers!
Yeah. So Evlona says, have you learned any more about the location of the Soulmonger?
No, we have not. But we were just on our way to search for the master of this place. But we came across a peculiar invitation.
Ah, what sort of invitation? Is it this Ras Nsi I hear about? He has invited you to his palace?
To meet with a paladin of sort.
Well, I would certainly be interested to know more about this person. His minions have killed some of my fellow wizards. And she kind of glances at Orvex, indicating that she's referring to the assault on that encampment. And I doubt, based on that he would extend the same invitation to us. So I can wish you luck, but I'm not sure if we can help you in this regard.
What, did you agitate them or something? All we did was just pass by.
I really can't speak to what Thasma did to agitate them. I was not here at the time. So if she made a poor choice, it appears that her people paid for it. I think you have seen that I try to at least talk before I let my spells do any decision making.
Well, do the rest of you have anything that might be of some use to us before we prepare to meet with this paladin of Ubtayo?
And she looks around at the others, and at this point I think who's left? I think Zagmira is maybe the only one of the original party. The only one you don't recognize at this point. And Zagmira is just looks almost afraid to speak at this point. You get the idea that she has fallen down in the power ranking of this set of wizards considerably. Evlona says, I don't have much advice besides if they are Yuanti. Be careful of listening to the words they say. They have powers of suggestion.
We've slaughtered enough of those snakes to know a little bit about what they do.
Well, be careful. We are going to continue investigating this city, not by the air, and she looks at Zagmira as she says this, to try and discover more about how we can find this soulmonger. I would extend the same courtesy last time, and now as I extended last time, if you gain any information, we would be happy to discuss it. And I see no reason to come into conflict unless you initiate it.
Of course, if we find anything of note, and the next time that we meet, perhaps we have something important.
Oh, well, that was public. Oops. Well, that's fine. Okay.
It's fine.
I meant to hide that, but it didn't give me the pop-up, so I'm good at this game. And she says, very well. It is morning, so we are going to finish disposing of our dead, and then we shall move on. I suppose if you want to use this house, feel free. And then they, at that point, Evlona kind of waits to see if any of you have anything else to say.
Well, if you're disposing those corpses, might I borrow 2 of them?
And she looks around and she says, you can have any of the gargoyles. The wizards are our own.
Shame. All right.
And you know that red wizards are quite often associated with necromancy.
Yeah.
So they're not giving up corpses of their own wizards.
Yeah.
They don't care if you want to raise something from the dead, but you're not touching theirs.
Yeah, because I know the story of they had a civil war with their master necromancer and they lost.
That's one way to look at what happened. I would argue that maybe what happened was the master necromancer just decided to get rid of everybody else.
Well, yeah, that too. Like, he just picked off all the other,
Zulkirs.
yeah, all the mage school masters one by one. Until there was like one left besides him.
Yeah, there's some fun infighting in the history of the Red Wizards. Cool, so do you want to try and raise a gargoyle? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, my ability was
So there,
2 of them.
let's see, how does that work? Because I'm just curious if that actually works on gargoyles. Because they're elementals.
Let me see what this is here.
And as you do that, they are, oh, yep, that happened again. Okay. Animate Dead. When you cast Animate Dead, you can target 1 additional corpse or pile of bones, creating another zombie or skeleton.
Let me get Animate Dead here.
Yeah. I could probably find it on your character sheet easier, huh? Spell book. Animate Dead. Creates an undead servant, so it's just a pile of bones or a corpse of a medium or small humanoid. I think it's fine to raise 2 of the gargoyles, but they will just have the stats. Like, they can't fly, they don't have any of the... They'll just have the stats of zombies. Or is that what you get, zombies?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So from
They'll
a
have,
flavor
like, the,
perspective, they're undead gargoyles, which is kind of weird, but they're not any... Uh-oh. Somebody's getting a rule book. But I'm willing to
Sorry,
let
I
that fly.
remembered a tangent my brain went on earlier today, so I'm looking something up not directly related to the game right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
yeah. So they'll just be skeletons with plus 7 more HP and plus 3 more weapon damage.
Cool. I think we can pop
Gosh,
that
what
out.
terrible binding.
Which book is that?
Tasha's.
Yeah, mine was bound like shit too.
You know
Anyway.
what? As soon as I got my Tasha's book, I fucking dropped it and a couple of the pages fell right out. I was so disappointed.
Yeah, my first, the first signature of my copy of Tasha's is like slightly off, which is just drives me nuts.
Like, I don't know how well.
Yeah,
that
I think that's pretty much
goes.
the same thing.
Yeah, let me get mine. Let me see
Let's
what
all
page.
compare our Tasha's and see if it's the same problem on all the copies. Yeah, the bottom of my first signature is doing the exact same thing, Sebastian. It's almost like they perfect glued in. Oh, I know what they did. Oh, wait a
What did
minute. No shit. Hold on. I think they perfect bound Tasha's and just slapped it in a hardcover. Let's see if I can find a signature and see if they actually stitched it. Because you can usually figure it out.
Yeah, it's for me. It's the credits page that's all fucked up because the contents page fell out when I dropped it.
Sorry, it's so tight that I feel like it's I think they did. I think they perfect bound Tasha's and then just slapped it inside a hard case. That's really actually disappointing. Because usually they don't do that. They usually actually sew the books. That's like one of the saving graces of 5th edition from like a material standpoint. I'm just checking some other books real quick. Yeah, because like my Pathfinder Bestiary, I can tell that they actually sewed it and then glued it. You can actually see the signatures. But
Right.
Where's my player's guide? Digression into bookbinding. Yeah, the player's guide is very obviously sewn. When you look at the... Yep, so that's disappointing. It looks like they're switching to perfect bindings and hard kit covers for some of their new books, which means you're still paying $50.
Yeah, that thing's for $50, and the first couple of pages look like they don't fit.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Lost City of Mesro is a perfect binding, but that's a DM's Guild product, so I'm not really that surprised. Where is the one that really pissed me off? Oh, wow. Icewind Dale is the same.
Huh.
And they didn't even line up the fake ribbon.
Which version is that? The
Standard.
one with the pretty cover. Oh, yeah.
I don't buy the expensive versions. I think it's...
I sometimes get the designer covers.
Check this out. Can you see that blue line?
Yeah.
That nice
What the
blue
hell is
ink line right across the first page of Icewind Dale?
What the hell is that?
That's a print bleed. So they printed it, and there was an ink... Anyway. Yeah, it's frustrating. Because
you pay money for the hardcovers, and it looks like shit.
Because, let me see if the GMG for Pathfinder, how does that look? Yeah, the Pathfinder books...
I didn't mean to take us on this much of a tangent.
That's okay. For me, it's a fun tangent, because I like books.
Yeah, it's right up your alley.
But, okay, I will say... This is the binding of the core Pathfinder 2nd edition rulebook.
Yep.
From just sitting on my shelf. Now, what's interesting, that's going to fall apart. It's literally going to tear out of the binding. The reason
Yeah, that looks really loose.
The reason I know that is because it's already happened to me once. Here's my 1st edition Pathfinder core rulebook. But the good news is I emailed Paizo and I sent them a picture and they sent me another one for free.
Cool.
They were just like, oh, that sucks. That's not supposed to happen. Here, have another copy. What's your address?
That's pretty cool, actually.
And I was like, shit, So I'm half tempted for my other one to actually just buy a second copy, so I can specifically rebind it myself. Because they did actually stitch them, so I can completely rebind it
Right.
without worrying too much. Anyway, this is great YouTube content. Really getting into the serious questions about Tomb of Annihilation by talking about bookbinding practices. But I think it's a valid criticism, though. Like, as a customer, you pay a lot of money
Right.
for those 5 ebooks. So it's depressing that some of the newer ones are.
The saving grace for me is that I don't have to buy like bazillions of books like I had to do in 3rd edition.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that's the only bad thing about
publication
3D
pace is a lot slower and the content is more refined when it gets published.
I'll agree with the first part of that sentence. But I spend way too much time arguing with other DMs about stuff. We had a
You're possibly not remembering how idiosyncratic some of the 3rd edition supplements were.
That's very fair because I didn't play 3rd edition. My touchstones are World of Darkness, which is very hit or miss, Pathfinder 1, and Pathfinder 2. Anyway, so to circle all the way back around, because I'd love to be in to finish that thought about the quality of the product, we had a 45-minute long discussion about how heat metal actually works and the design philosophy of the game that leads to the way that it's written in 5th edition versus 3.5 and Pathfinder 2nd edition.
Right.
And it turns out we decided that the ranking of clarity of rules was Pathfinder 2, 3.5, and then 5th edition.
Yeah, some of
Buy that?
the wording in 5e is kind of jank.
It really is. Which mostly matters for Lyokin, if you're listening, because I think nobody else gets quite as insane about it, or tries to abuse it, or not abuse it, but eke every ounce out. Anyway, so back to this. You have your 2 gargoyles, gargoyle zombie skeleton things, that are statistically identical to Animate Dead. And then the Thayans are going to basically go about disposing of their dead. Do you guys want to do anything else here?
Well, we can always ask them if they have any supplies to spare, since they have some dead people that aren't going to use them anymore.
And Avlona kind of looks back as the others are taking care of the dead and goes, I am not giving our Thayan items to somebody who is not. Let our dead rest in peace.
Of course, I understand. This is a thing.
Sorry, I didn't quite hear.
Now, she's saying to herself, the Red Wizards of Thay are a greedy lot.
Quite possibly.
Anyway, but that's it for me. I will raise my 2 undead thralls. What are you guys doing?
Teddy or Sebastian, do you want to do anything else here?
Nope.
No.
No. You don't want to rock out with a bunch of red wizards?
It's not the Furbolg way.
Oh man, have you listened? Oh boy, that map went in a weird direction, huh? Whoa. What? Did I just move? Oh boy. What? What happened? Let me just reload real quick. Because my map looks really weird. There we go. How's yours looking?
It's like
Okay, yeah. So reloading should hopefully fix it, because I did that on my end on both windows and it worked. I feel like I'm at a spa right now. With that background music. Is it working for you guys or no? Or is it still loading?
It's working.
Cool. No idea what happened. Foundry having one of its moments. Cool, so you guys have visited the surviving Red Wizards. What would you like to do next?
We can go take a look at the shrine number 16.
Cool. So Shrine 16. So the first thing is you are going to have to wade through those waters to get there if you approach by foot.
Do we have another way to approach? I mean, I guess we could try to find or build a boat.
I mean, the water varies in depth. It's usually kind of like waist, not waist, but like mid-thigh deep, because the waterfall, which I guess we can just, I don't know why it has a token, but the waterfall has a token. It's location 17, which is the waterfall. Yeah, most of this water is about thigh deep. It's pretty muddy because it's kind of flooded and filled this whole area. Like, it's not full of trash, but it's just kind of a marshy, flooded area. And then the shrine is probably like 50 to 100 feet from the edge of the solid ground. And the entrance to it is to the south.
I guess I'm content to wait unless somebody else has a different idea.
Just give me 1 second.
Do you happen to have water walking?
No, but I thought I might be wrong. It's been a while since I've looked at water stuff.
Because I can always swim. I have the ring swimming.
Oh, that's right.
I have water walk, but it's not prepared, so.
Oh, yeah.
I guess we just go.
Cool.
Well, that's fine.
Can somebody roll me a D something? I just need a D. Okay. As you guys do wade through the water, it is muddy but not stagnant, so at least that's nice. As you get towards the entrance of the shrine. Where are the shrines? Where are the shrines? Preload scene. There we go. So as you get towards the opening of the wall around this shrine, as you turn it, you can see that there's crocodiles wallowing inside the walls of the shrine. There's the two obelisks making the entrance, and then there are carved images of a long-legged bird with a needle-like beak, and there are slimy steps ascending upwards, and hopefully 9 shrines should come up, and your guys' tokens are in the wrong place, so I will delete those and find you in a better place. Come on. So many controls. There we go. Thursday group. Elk. Teddy. Why is that not working? Teresa.
Looks like the whole map is revealed.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I can't drag anyone. Oh, whoa, hey, there you are. Slight delay. What I could do... Is it still fully revealed for you?
Yes.
Is it fully revealed for anyone else?
Not for me.
No, I see shadows.
So I think it's a you thing. This thing, like, Foundry sometimes works really well, and sometimes it does weird stuff.
I can try reloading the tab, I suppose, and see if it
Makes it
sorts
stop
out
doing that.
line of sight issues, because
Because I'm just guessing the walls or the fog of war aren't rendering for you.
yeah, that's kind of the feeling that I got.
Maybe your perception has reached
That's better.
pinnacle.
Cool. So you guys are in front of this shrine. I think you can see there are... I think between the lot of y'all, you can see 3 crocodiles kind of in your line of sight. And then the steps are in front of you, covered in slime and grossness.
Well, that's nifty. Do we want to do something about the crocodiles first, or see if they'll let us just go into the shrine?
If they don't attack, then we probably should go.
I'd rather walk. Just try and walk first.
Yes.
Alrighty then.
If we're not, I mean, if we don't appear hostile, then they shouldn't do anything.
Cool. So how do you guys want to walk in? What do you want to do?
I guess I'll wade through first. Slowly.
Interesting. Cool. So as you slowly wade in, you don't get any reaction.
That's interesting.
Classic gator move.
Well, there's an if followed by the characters and then the verb attack. There's no comment if the characters don't attack, so you know.
No, gators are pretty chill most of the time. They won't do anything.
Yeah, crocodiles, however, tend to be very aggressive.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, because it doesn't specifically, it only says if you guys attack that they attack. I'm gonna let it go. They're unlike my children. These crocodiles have chill.
They're just
Oh,
hanging out.
more power to them.
Cool. So as you guys get into this wonderful slimy building, let me I like running it off of this more, to be honest. This is Popsattel's Shrine. Okay. Inside here, there is a plaque above the doorway written in Old Omuan.
Orvex, what does that say?
This one states, Papa Zotl teaches us to bow before no one. And that is it. Okay. And then the room you're in, that weird thing that I think looks like a coffin, to be honest, or a table in the middle of the room that you're standing next to, Sebastian.
Yep.
So the description of this room, moss clings to the stonework throughout this hall. That thing you are standing next to is a mosaic depicting a tall bird using its long pointy beak to pin a monstrous frog-like creature with tentacles sprouting from its shoulders. Set into the far wall is a pair of heavy stone doors.
So it's more of that ibis versus frog iconography.
Here is the text from the shrine. Yep. Actually, the creature looks more like one of those eblises that you got from Zulkore. Looks almost exactly like one of those. And then there is in this mosaic, there are also inscriptions in Old Omuan around the mosaic as well on the floor.
What do those say?
Yeah, that says, I'm just going to read it. I'm going to link it. So here's the read along. When evening came, a wild Eblis stepped from his reed hut. He didn't like the Omuans, but without them he'd have no one to play his tricks on. The Eblis sent a marsh frog to reason with Ubtayo, but the frog was angry and decided to wrestle the god instead. This amused Ubtayo, so he gave the frog tentacles to make it stronger. When Kubazan, the frog-hemoth, returned to Papazotl the Eblis, he chased Papazotl into the swamp with his new tentacles.
So that's ominous. I feel like that's what we didn't attack and worked our way out of earlier, like a few weeks ago.
Well, you guys did clear Kubazan's shrine.
Right.
Cleared. I guess cleared is the wrong term. You got the cube.
Perhaps Papazotl is lying in the swamp here. If we irritate him. I don't know. I feel like he's saying we bow to no one. We just go in guns a-blazing.
If we're gonna do that, then I'll go ahead and cast Mage Armor on myself.
And Mage Armor. When the cleric says YOLO and the paladin stands stoically, the wizard casts Mage Armor. Sure, you have Mage Armor, and I guess you also have your zomboids. Didn't I make tokens for your zombies?
No.
I swear to God, we gave one a name. I don't know.
Yeah, Zombino.
Well, there's zombie
Zambina.
1. And there's another zombie. I'm not sure if they're completely accurate, but if we get to combat or need to use it, we can adjust.
That's fine.
And so the doors in front of you are two very large stone doors. They are currently shut.
Can I do like a perception check to see if there's any sort of check to it?
You can certainly roll a perception check to look at the doors. Or an investigation check, either way. It appears to be
I'm so good at investigating.
Flat 10, going for mediocrity. Yeah, it appears to be a pair of stone doors that are quite heavy.
I
Well,
attempt to open the doors.
yeah.
You push on it. You are not strong enough by yourself to push this door open.
A little help here?
Don't look at me.
Hey! Together, by the power of teamwork, you have pushed open the stone doors. Very heavy doors. The way you would estimate about 600 pounds apiece. Which is what all the other doors have felt like. Well, they're big stone doors. In this room, an empty pedestal stands in the middle of the chamber. There are six statues facing it from alcoves on the walls. Those are the stars. I think if I don't otherwise specify, stars like that just mean statue. They depict bare-chested humans with the heads of different animals. From left to right, the heads resemble those of a lizard, a jaguar, a lobster, a toucan, a bat, and a frog. So I'm just going to paste this into chat. And then are you examining the pedestal, Sebastian?
Yes.
You find a riddle on its base, which says the following. Comes with sunshine, leaves with night, hides in darkness, does not bite, always joined to its caster, never strays from its master. From left to right. That's weird. Sorry, I'm just reading something. Oh, and that one's in common. Sorry, I'm just reading this real quick because I'm just making sure I have it right. Okay, cool. Whoa, what? That's not accurate. Ah, okay.
Wait, I
It is.
think
Got it. Okay,
I
never
think I
mind.
know what the riddle is.
Yeah.
Like your shadow. A shadow?
Are you asking the room?
That does sound like the answer to this riddle.
I guess I don't really know what to do with it though.
That does sound like a shadow. Comes with the sunshine, leaves at night. Hides in darkness, does not bite. Always joined to its caster. Never strays from its master. Well,
Yeah, shadow. Or I guess something magical, but I don't. I feel like it's like generic enough to work for a riddle. So, do we notice anything else about this room other than that there's an empty pedestal in the middle with a riddle, and just the six statues?
So I think it'd really be like a perception check.
Wow, there we go.
So Teresa, you notice the bat statue, which is over here, seems to have a deeper darkness behind it.
I come over here to do an investigation check on it. This thing seems a bit darker than the rest. Let me see. Oh my god.
Well, you can tell by looking at it that like you don't really need an investigation check. As you actually look at this statue, you can see that the wall behind it appears to have an opening, or there appears to maybe be a passageway or something behind that statue.
Well,
Does it look like it moves?
you could try.
Yeah, you could try and move it. I mean, it looks like a
Sure.
statue. I guess, I mean, any statue is movable given the correct application of force.
I can always do mold earth, try and force it away.
I try pushing on it.
Then
and
again,
pulling
this
on
is
it.
all stone, so never mind.
So as you push on it, it does feel like probably if you guys work together, you could pull the statue out of the alcove.
Give me a hand, Teddy.
Yep.
Hold on. Okay.
Somehow my arm is 5 feet long now.
Okay. Oh, that's weird. Okay, well, so the map doesn't really show this, but there's a crawlway there. Oh, no. Did I move the wrong thing? Oh, I just did the wrong thing. Hold on. That's why it looks weird to me. Hold up. Bam! That's weird. I love the way that they design this stuff sometimes. Yeah, you're able to pull it out. Hi, cat, go away. I can't move that actual statue token because that's not what moves, but you have pulled it out. And there's a crawlway that's about 2 feet wide and about 3 feet tall that leads in or out. I guess that's kind of a relative distinction.
Do we have anyone we can send in there that wouldn't have to stoop to enter?
I was thinking of my familiar, but then I haven't really resummoned her, and that takes an hour.
What about one of the like the zombie or the dragon thing?
EQ?
Yeah, EQ.
I think the smallest humanoid here is probably Teresa. Because I think Teresa's like 5 feet tall. Is that accurate?
Yeah, she's like 5'7" or something like that.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Teresa's not short. For some reason, I thought Teresa was short. Anyway, yeah. So anybody here, I would say, Sebastian, in your armor, you just can't get through there because you're in plate armor. So you can't do that. Or if you could, but
Can't make myself that small.
it would be a very long, loud, uncomfortable affair. Any of the rest of you could...
I don't think I can fit it all. I'm too big.
Are you
Yeah, you're a
huge?
furball up here.
Yeah, Furball's like 7 foot tall or something.
Oh, okay. Sure, so I guess it's Teresa, Iku,
Yeah.
or Orbex, or the zombies are the ones who could probably squeeze through into there.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Ouch. I'll send my zombie in first, and then I will go.
Cool. So, Zambino, and you hear a thud as it hits the corner in there, and then you just kind of hear from the distance. Let's see here. So when you enter, I'm gonna say there's just some cracks in the ceiling, so there's minor light. You find etched into the southern wall here is, this tile pattern.
Okay.
And that is the only feature of note in the room. Besides you and the zombie.
That's a very peculiar tile pattern. Looks like a dirty kitchen floor, but
And it's on the wall, it's not on the floor. So like somebody placed these tiles on the stone wall in this pattern.
alrighty. Well, if someone put them here for a reason, I will try to commit them to memory. Maybe look for a pattern elsewhere within this building.
Cool, I'll say like, you're a wizard, you have notebooks, you can just mark down the pattern too if you want, like, that's fine. Does that make sense? You can just like scribble down.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I order Zambino to follow me back.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, can you move the other one inside as well? Well, actually, I'll keep the other one outside with Iku and what's his face, unless they're all coming inside.
I'll have everybody come in. I don't
Okay.
know. I'm just moving tokens around. Yeah.
So, what was beyond that crawl space was a tile pattern.
Interesting.
I didn't find anything peculiar at it. Seemed that it was rather out of place. Now, when I look around the room, do I notice anything similar to that pattern?
Not really.
Did you test the tile?
Of course not. But I think that perhaps I could send one of my thralls to do it.
I think that might be a worthwhile endeavor.
I think you could probably get them to touch the wall, but I don't know if you can get them to, like, do anything more complicated than that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Because they're zombies. Like, you could have the zombies go and touch the tiles. I'm just thinking if you were like, touch tile 5-3. I don't know if a zombie could figure that out.
Well, you could just say touch the dark tiles.
That's true. You could maybe do that. You'd probably have to roll something for the zombie just to see if it could figure it out.
Can the zombie see well enough to
It has like a
discern which ones are the
-4
dark?
What is a zombie's perception?
I have no idea.
-2. So, I mean, yeah, they could probably see.
They have to see.
They have dark vision even,
Oh, wow.
which kind of makes sense for zombies.
Well, if the dark tiles represent shadows,
Uh,
there's also 9 of them, which may or may not be significant.
Okay, so when I walk up to the tile pattern and I push down on them, is that anything happens in particular? Does the whole thing go down, or is it particular tiles?
Nothing goes down. It seems like these are just tiles mortared onto a wall.
I have an idea. Can I plug it off?
The tiles.
Yeah.
So you kind of try to pry at the tiles, and you realize you would probably need a chisel, and a hammer to like chisel the tiles off of their mortar. Like at least at this point, it seems like this is literally, this seems to literally just be a tile mosaic on the wall. Does that make sense?
Yes. Well, going back to the tile didn't do too much. Might there be anything else in this room?
So, the things in the room are the statues, the pedestal with the inscription on it. That was the riddle that you guys, that I posted up in chat. There is the tunnel to the room with the tiles, and those are the only features in this room that really stand out in any way.
oh, hold on. Give me 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Comes with. So, it's like an old crossword puzzle. Does it go down or does it go? I feel like you put the letters in and it spells something, but I don't know if it goes across or down, or like CO. Like if you go left to right, it'd be CO. MES. Oh, that's annoying. Is that right? Can I just ask you if that's right? I don't want to have to do all the work.
Sure. So you fill in the letters. You write the words of the rhyme into this space, and the dark panels or the dark tiles correspond to. It says. Oh, where is it? Sorry, I didn't write it. It says. I swear to God, it says cover eyes in the dark spaces. And I guess you can just trust me. I could write all the letters out, but I think that would be excruciating.
Very time consuming. Yeah.
Yes.
So yes, the dark tiles spell out cover eyes.
I feel like I just won, but also I don't know what to do with that information.
I cover my eyes.
And Sebastian falls asleep, and hopefully he has an alarm set for tomorrow morning so he can go to work. No.
I'm starting to drift off here myself.
What if we cover the eyes of all the statues in the room?
That's a good idea.
Do you have any cloth?
Must have cloth or enough rope that we can cut up and like wrap around the eyes.
I'm sorry, I'm
Oh.
quiet because I don't know what you guys have, to be blunt. I don't know what's in your inventory.
I'm looking right now.
Well, Teddy has...
Sorry, I was getting my charger.
You have Teddy has, if we're talking about cloth items, Teddy has a blanket and vestments. Teresa has a bedroll and hempen rope, 100 feet of it, and I don't know, Sebastian, what do you have? You have a bedroll and 50 feet of rope. And traveler's clothes, which I'm assuming that you are... Do you wear those with your armor? Do you just put your armor on top of your clothing? I'm assuming that that's what you do, because otherwise that would be painful.
Yep.
I mean, you can just take my blanket. I don't care, and rip it up. The tiny little 6 little strings.
And then
I
tie
will use my bedroll to cover one of them, but
Cool.
not tear it apart.
Once you guys cover all of the eyes of the statues, the pedestal in the middle of the room rotates, and an ornate stone cube emerges from the hatch that appears on the surface of the pedestal. The cube
Nice.
is carved with the Eblis bird creatures.
Neat. I take the cube.
You do so, and you have another cube. So how many cubes does that get us to for you guys at this point?
5.
You have 5 puzzle cubes. You have, in my notebook, I have written down on a page that I bookmarked, and I have a pen somewhere. We'll figure that part out later. There it is. My desk is a mess. You have Kubazan's cube, Shigambi's cube, Aijin's cube, Wango's cube, and now Papazottle's cube. So there you go. You have a cube.
Cool.
I was a little worried when I saw the thing for Papazottle, because I think that's really meant to be a physical handout. Like one of those things where you can take it at the table and draw on it.
Right.
Cool, good job.
I've played enough crosswords lately that I was able to put two. If had I not done the crosswords lately, I would have had no idea what's going on.
It's okay. Again, like if you ever want to do like an intelligence check or something like that for something like this, if you're stumped, feel free to let me know. Just as a reminder, your characters may know more than you as players realize, especially because we play when we're tired.
Yep.
Very true. Very
So
true.
always feel free to roll attributes or skills to see if your character can figure something out, because I'm happy to do that. What I'm trying to avoid in most cases is having an NPC just solve it for you, if that makes any sense.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll admit I did do that in one shrine that you guys haven't done, just to speed things up because it was like 11:50. But they had solved like 90% of the puzzle at that point. Cool. So I think Teresa said you were tired. Sebastian, are you tired or no?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm starting to drift off here.
do we want to pause it here, or do you guys want to do more?
I think
I
I'm
think-
content to pause here.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm
let's
good
pause
with that.
here.
Well, thank you guys.
And thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we're getting there. So
We
next,
are indeed.
I'm trying to think if there's anything I wanted to say in general. I don't think so right now. I think, yeah, cool. Well, thank you all, and I will hit the button. We'll be
All
back
right.
next week.
Thank you very much. See you next time.